Welcome to the Abrams Dicta YouTube channel. Subscribe today and join me, David Abrams, as I explore the world on my Italian scooter and talk about life, law, art, and any other subject that catches my interest. Also, please check out my blog at abramsdicta.com. Although I'm a licensed attorney, nothing here should be taken as legal advice or counsel. If you're looking to contact me professionally, please go to my website, www.dhabramslaw.com. Well, welcome back for another episode of the Abrams Dicta Scooter Blog. It's another beautiful spring day here in Tallahassee, and I'm on my way to a meeting of the Tallahassee Rotary Club. And, it's kind of weird to me sometimes for a guy like me to be in the Rotary Club, especially my particular club, which is the old established club in Tallahassee. It's one of the largest. In fact, it is the largest in Tallahassee, and I think it's one of the largest on the entire Gulf Coast. And we really do have some exceptional people in this club. We have Supreme Court justices, and we have a retired general. I think there's a retired admiral in there. Some real kind of power broker type people. And then you got me there, and I'm I'm not a power broker. I'm a consumer rights lawyer. It's not a big power position in the world of the legal profession, and yet it works for me. And part of what I think is missing that I get there is that I get to see people, the other dimensions of people than the way we often see them. I get to see the multidimensional factions of people, and as much as I may protest against the banks, I work with bankers in the Rotary Club. A lot of leaders of our local banks, and I get to see the human side of them, and they're good people. And I think that that's something that I've really been thinking a lot about lately, is that, as human beings, we're all multidimensional people. None of us is entirely good. None of us is entirely evil. And it's important that we recognize that. Last night I was surfing around on YouTube for a bit, and I came across the YouTube video of Ruth Bader Ginsburg that she gave as a eulogy for her friend Justice Scalia. And you could not find two people who are more politically and philosophically polar opposites on many levels than Justice Ginsburg and Justice Scalia. They were often on opposite sides of their opinions. They dissented from each other's opinions a great deal, and yet they were great friends. And one of the things that Ruth Bader Ginsburg spoke about with Justice Scalia was his acts of kindness to her, and the philosophy of Justice Scalia that he spoke to her was that he was against bad ideas, but he wasn't against people. In other words, he was critical of ideas but not people. And I think about that in our public discourse and in the discourse of organizations that I've involved in, and that's really important. We may not like an idea, but it doesn't mean the person given that idea is bad. And in the legal profession, we call that civility. And a lot of non-lawyers, they don't understand, how do defense attorneys and prosecutors go to lunch together? How do I have a civil conversation with a lawyer who's opposing my client's claim, or things like that? And the reality is, it's absolutely necessary for the legal profession to function. these are, as a lawyer, I don't think you do a great job for your client if all your cases become personal vendettas. My job is to give legal counsel to folks and to help them solve their problems. I've been practicing law long enough to really see this, that when a case becomes about a fight between me and the other lawyer, our clients don't win. We don't really do great things for our clients. And it has a personal cost. I don't know how you could practice law for a long time and constantly be in that emotional state of conflict. It's very tiring for me. Although I did see recently there was an article that came out, and it may have been an ABA publication, that pointed out that the alcoholism rate for lawyers is much higher than it is for the regular public. And I suspect that the emotional cost of conflict in a lawyer's life is part of what may fuel that. I got to watch this guy here. It's interesting. There's even in cultures of scooters and motorcycles. There's the bikers are they look down on scooters sometimes, and you got the street bike guys who don't like the Harley drivers, and all these false categories that people use to divide who's good and who's bad, and it's it just diminishes us all. If you look at much of the political talk that goes on in the United States today, what passes as political discourse, which I think largely isn't discourse at all. It's just people throwing insults at each other. It's not moving us forward. We've got a government now that is gridlocked because each side is so afraid to work with the other side because they're evil people. You can't do that. We can't function as a nation. We can't function as communities. We can't function as families if our goal is to denigrate the other person. And it really is a form of abuse to try to win an argument by delegitimizing the other person. And we shouldn't do that to each other. It really it's just a terrible thing. Like I say, I think it's abusive, and it's a pervasive problem right now. You miss out on the good things in life and the good things in relationships when you do that. I mean, look at what a beautiful day this is. Do we really want to be wrapped up in conflict? I drive defensively because I know other people may not watch me. But you know what? I'm not convinced that every car on the road is out to kill me. I think every car has the potential to not be paying attention. Maybe at the end of the day I behave the same way, but the emotional way in which I get there is a little bit different. So that's all I have for today. We're coming up on the FSU campus, and again, a lot of construction going on down here today. They've been knocking down these old dorms recently, and we're at the corner of Tennessee and Woodward. So any of you that are Florida State alumni, you probably remember this place. And if you haven't been around for a while, Woodward Avenue used to go right down through the middle of campus, and you can't take it anymore. It's blocked off, which is probably a good idea. Even in my day when I was here, almost 30 years ago, it could be kind of risky to try to cross Woodward sometime. So anyhow, I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll see you next time.